Jonathan, tell me about kind of your, obviously it's great having the store and you can provide and people can buy groceries, but you have a unique perspective because this is going to provide jobs as well.
Yeah.
So tell me about kind of your angle and how you specifically work, to create the jobs, right? And staff and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So this market project had me revisit some history I had with Chick-fil-A. So my primary role was, like I said, new openings. And so the process that I did over 25 times with Chick-fil-A, I brought that experience into this project as well. And so, but from a jobs perspective, you think about, those things that make up a healthy community, healthy access to education, fair banking, housing, food, but then also employment, and so, a lot of times individuals in industry, they look for the pristine application or resume. And a lot of individuals that we have engaged from a jobs perspective, they either have made a poor decision or life circumstances that put them in a certain place where they can't find tangible employment. And so the unique thing about what we do is the two things that we look for is the ability to show up, be present, and then just have a great attitude. Now, if you do both, that's great. But if you can just have one of those, we can work with the other.
Yeah.
So, and so to meet individuals where they are, understand where they want to go to, then help them, bridge the gap in between. For me, it's just so life-giving because their experience up until this point has not been that. A lot of times in industry and ministry, the work engagement is just transactional. You come, you clock in from 9 to 5, you get a paycheck, at the end of 2 weeks. And that's it. We're not concerned about where you are in life. Why have you showed up 5 minutes late the last couple of weeks? But we want to make employment relational. We want to know the whole person. We're not concerned about just the person who's working, but we want to know what are the things, the factors that are driving that person's behavior when they do come into work, which is so key. And so just in a short amount of time, we've been able to see, families change, their lives change. And obviously with 2020 and the pandemic, we were able to see that on a even, elevated scale last year where we had families individuals that was working with us and, when the schools were shut down, they had to go virtual. Like, how do I deal with this? And we opened up our market space. Hey, come here. We can do all we can to support you. Or housing came into question. We came around them and said, okay, how can we help you and bring our partners alongside you to help you? And that was all through employment and jobs. And so. Also, any employment opportunity through Restore Jobs, we don't want that to be the end point. We want that to be the launching point. And so we have an 8-week job training course called Work Life that helps individuals reshape their story, help them go through soft skills and, conflict resolution, code switching, towards the end, once they've shown themselves consistent, we bring outside partners in to help them with mock interviews. So typically, because you've had this shaky past or poor decisions, the anxiety level is high and the confidence level is low. Going into an interview session with a Kimray or another major corporation. But now you've gone through this mock interview and you've kind of gotten intel into what industry is looking for. The anxiety level goes down, the confidence level goes up, and to see that person's face just blossom and just get excited. It's like I said, it's like for me to be a part of that. So
that's awesome, and you're right. You're kind of like you're giving people a second, third, fourth chance, whatever. But it's you're building their relation. You're building their relationship, but you're launching them into a future career, right?
Right.
Of course, you'd love them to stay there forever, but also I think you would probably have them, give them a chance. They work at the store. And then 9 years later, you see them and they've got a full career with, like you said, a Kimray or someone, and they're a part of the community and they're helping others and they're just giving back. And you're right. I can see why that. Like, I'm just thinking about it now. If I was a part of that, right, and you just imagine yourself speaking to someone, it could be an older gentleman who's had a bad past or a mother or whatever. Like you're a huge kind of, you're the change in their life that they needed.
Yeah, and we communicate this on the front end because, like, a lot of times in industry, when they hire this individual, they want to get all they can out of them, and then when that person has capped off their growth potential, they move on to someone else. But we take the inverted approach. We want to invest in you as much as we can, and then launch you into wherever you want to go. And so for them, this, like I said, this is foreign. They're like, wait, you're investing all this in me, and you're not looking for the return? I'm like, no, the return is you getting out. For us, the return is you getting launched into whatever that is. It could be an entrepreneur opportunity, or you working in the industry that you really feel passionate and purposeful about. And so, it's so exciting to be a part of it. Now, here's the I guess the awesome thing that we've been able to do. We created a culture where people want to stay. So we retained about 95% of our people. But it's cool to see we built something that people want to stay around and be around. Right. And then what we tell them is what you've experienced now. Go give that. Go share that with someone else. So the opportunity, the margin that we place in your life, go do that, and then that's how you see a community over time begin to change.
Yeah.